Previously on Gillette Drafted.
Everything was perfect. Yankee Stadium lit up in blue, and the lights go off.
Blue Jays, the Toronto Blue Jays.
Are you kidding me?
Can these guys make a playoff push?
He uses the bat like a tennis racket. Address the bow tie. Make it part of our shtick. Harrison, what happened there?
And we didn't.
There were two people that stood out from the group today. You, Brett, and you, Anthony.
I made them look good. Oh, that's interesting.
You're welcome.
That was stupid.
What's going on, guys? I know our road trip is wrapping up. We're leaving New York City. We're heading back to Toronto, but of course, we got to stop along the way and do our final Fuel Up challenge.
We were all pumped up for the last one. We knew that there was one more perk up for grabs.
You guys remember how it works? 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, sports style. Here we go with your NBA version of it.
And I'm like, I got this. Like, I can do this.
We are going from Seth Jones's father, Popeye Jones, to the legend, Mr. Irving Magic Johnson. Do it up, boys. Come on.
I'm like, oh my God. Where do I go from here?
Popeye Jones to Irving Magic Johnson.
Who the hell was Popeye Jones? Teddy had no clue who Popeye Jones was.
Everyone's gonna look at me and go, what are you talking about? He was a Raptor. I had no idea.
I see some blank faces.
And the first thing I thought about with Magic Johnson was the last time he played basketball, who was a rookie? And I remember that Vlade Divac was a young Laker.
Your first step from Popeye Jones is to go to a one, Mr. Doug Christie.
We got a clue with Doug Christie, and then it was over.
Got it. 0-2 goes Popeye Jones to Doug Christie, to Hedo Turkoglu to Vlade Divac. Christie actually played with Divac, but that is right. Divac then, yes, played with Magic Johnson. 0-2, very nice, dude.
And I'm like, how could I screw that up? Vlade.
Big round of applause, guys, come on.
So 0-2 gets it again. I was a little bit cheesed off of that because he got the NHL one and now he's gotten the NBA one.
So here's your second Gillette Drafted Get Your Start card, but there's a slight twist. You are not allowed to open your Gillette Drafted Get Your Start card until we are back in Toronto. So guys, back in the van, let's get back in the highway, back to Toronto. We got one more assignment left. It's gonna be big. You guys ready? Yeah. All right, let's go, guys.
It's no secret that I haven't done well. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like, you know, I've excelled. I'm just thinking I want to finish strong.
I'm still in the mind frame that I'm in this competition to win.
And I was just thinking, stay focused. You have one assignment left. You have to knock this out of the park.
My philosophy on life is enthusiasm, fun, and integrity, and that's what I present.
My progress was definitely moving up, and I felt that I had some good momentum.
And it was surreal. I just trying to think back, like, have I done enough? Is there anything I can do to kind of push myself ahead a little bit further?
Welcome back to Toronto, guys. The road trip is obviously over, but the competition is far from being over. I know you guys are anxious to figure out what your final assignment is, but before we get into that, you guys obviously know that on the road you wrote a profile highlighting Kelly Olynyk for Sportsnet magazine. So Harrison, you're gonna get the one-on-one interview with Kelly Olynyk.
Hey Kelly, it's Harrison from Sportsnet. How's it going, man?
However, boys, Mr. Mate was kind enough to extend the offer to all 6 of you.
Oh my gosh.
I was excited. I kind of had to put it in the back of my mind for a little bit because you write it and you finish and then you can't dwell on it at all.
We got the editor-in-chief here, Steve Maish, who's gonna let you guys know how you did and how it all shook out. So Steve?
Sure thing. Thanks a lot for having me here, guys. And first of all, good job. There's 3 points I wanted to point out to you guys, though. First of all, word count. We told you guys 700 words at max. Anthony, you wrote a really solid piece, but it came in over 1,000 words.
And I knew that I was a little bit over, but I didn't think I was, hundreds of words over.
Being long is just as bad as being late.
I will learn for next time.
The other thing is, it's really important before you even sit down to begin to write a word that you know what your thesis is. Obviously, outside sources are really valuable in feeding a thesis like that. One person here had the best outside source of all, the subject himself. That's a huge advantage that Harrison had on his piece. Perhaps not surprisingly, Harrison, for that reason, among others, your piece was the best.
To have Steve Maish tell me that my article won out of everyone, I was through the moon.
He had the best source possible, right? I mean, you're talking to the guy that you're writing the profile about, so if he didn't do a good job, that would have looked horrible on Harrison.
I do want to mention two other things, though, two other guys. Andrew, some very solid writing in your piece, and yours too, Teddy. We thought it was a really strong piece. So Harrison, your piece is going to appear in the next issue of Sportsnet magazine, and Andrew and Teddy, you guys will both be included in the iPad edition of the magazine.
Really? Sweet. Awesome. Nice. Very cool. Thank you.
I'm thrilled because I feel like now I am finishing stronger.
And just another feather in our cap to say this is something that I accomplished along this journey.
And then we got into the meat of things, which was the last challenge.
The whole time on the road, you guys have been building up footage, building up essentially your demo reel, and now it's all going to come to be. Your final assignment for Gillette Drafted Season 5 is a job interview.
Obviously the most important one of my life to date.
You're going to be standing in front of Jackie, in front of Greg Sansoni, in front of Cam Stewart, and of course Jen Seiler from Gillette.
You guys have thrown so many curveballs at us that you never know what's going to happen.
Joe 2. Yeah. You won the final fuel up. Now's the time, buddy. Open that envelope. Let's see what you got.
Get your start extra access. Access to all the other interviews.
Basically, I could watch as many of the job interviews as I wanted and pick where everyone was going to go. So it was kind of an important one.
Okay, we're gonna go Teddy, Bruno, myself, Harrison, Brett, Corey.
Very nice. Thank you very much.
It's a job interview. They're going to ask you about your life. So I want to get the oldest guy in there and the youngest guy in there. So I was like, if I go halfway, it'll be perfect.
And as we've been saying to you through this entire journey, there's obviously always something on the line, and it's pretty obvious what it is at this point. It's what you've been working towards for the better part of the last 6 months, a 1-year contract to work at Sportsnet 360 as an on-air personality, and a 1-year contract to be a spokesperson for Gillette. Good luck. You all have it in you. Don't let the pressure get to you.